Hello friends. Today I will reply on your questions in respect of refund under goods and services tax, but here is a disclaimer that the answers are for academic use, and in case you want to act upon these for a professional purpose, please go through the relevant BEAR Acts and related rules, notification and circulars before you proceed.
Hell Zero Sir, good morning. My first question is, what is refund?
Refund has been discussed in Section 54 of the CGST/SGST Act. Refund includes a. Any balance amount in the electronic cash ledger so claimed in the returns. B. Any unutilized input tax credit in respect of 1. Zero-rated supplies made without payment of tax, or 2. Where the credit has accumulated on account of rate of tax on inputs being higher than the rate of tax on output supplies other than nil-rated or fully exempt supplies. C. Tax paid by specialized agency of United Nations or any multilateral financial institution and organization notified under the United Nations Privileges and Immunities Act, 1947, consulate or embassy of foreign countries on any inward supply.
Can unutilized input tax credit be allowed as refund?
Unutilized input tax credit can be allowed as refund in accordance with the provisions of subsection 3 of Section 54 in the following situations. 1. Zero-rated supplies made without payment of tax. 2. Where credit has accumulated on account of rate of tax on inputs being higher than the rate of taxes on output supplies other than nil-rated or fully exempt supplies. However, no refund of unutilized input tax credit shall be allowed in cases where the goods exported out of India are subjected to export duty, and also in the case where the supplier of goods or services or both avails of drawback in respect of central tax or claims refund of the integrated tax paid on such supplies.
Can unutilized input tax credit be given refund in case goods exported outside India are subjected to export duty?
Refund of unutilized input tax credit is not allowed in cases where the goods exported out of India are subjected to export duty, as per the second proviso to Section 54(3) of CGST/SGST Act.
Suppose a taxable person has paid integrated goods and services tax or CGST and SGST mistakenly as an interstate or intrastate supply, but the nature of which is subsequently clarified. Can the CGST and SGST be adjusted against wrongly paid integrated goods and services tax or vice versa?
The taxable person cannot adjust CGST and SGST or integrated goods and services tax with the wrongly paid integrated goods and services tax or CGST and SGST, but he is entitled to refund of the tax so paid wrongly as per Section 77 of the CGST and SGST Act.
Whether purchases made by embassies or UN are taxed or exempted?
Supplies to the embassies or UN bodies will be taxed, which later on can be claimed as refund by them in terms of Section 54(2) of the CGST/SGST Act. The United Nations organization and consulates or embassies are required to take a unique identity number, Section 26(1) of the CGST/SGST Act, and purchases made by them will be reflected against their unique identity number in the return of outward supplies of the suppliers.
What is the time limit for taking refund?
A person claiming a refund is required to file an application before the expiry of 2 years from the relevant date, as given in the explanation to Section 54 of the CGST/SGST Act.
Whether principle of unjust enrichment will be applicable in refund?
The principle of unjust enrichment would be applicable in all cases of refund except in the following cases. 1. Refund of tax paid on zero-rated supplies of goods or services, or both, or on inputs or input services used in making such zero-rated supplies. 2. Unutilized input tax credit in respect of a. Zero-rated supplies made without payment of tax, or b. Where the credit has accumulated on account of rate of tax on inputs being higher than the rate of tax on output supplies. 3. Refund of tax paid on the supplies which is not provided, either wholly or partially, and for which invoice has not been issued. 4. Refund of tax in pursuance of Section 77 of CGST/SGST Act, that is, tax wrongfully collected and paid to central government or state government. 5. If the incidence of tax or interest paid has not been passed on to any other person. 6. Such other class of persons who has borne the incidence of tax as the government may notify.
Is there any time limit for sanctioning of refund?
Yes. Refund has to be sanctioned within 60 days from the date of receipt of application complete in all respects. If refund is not sanctioned within the said period of 60 days, interest at the rate notified not exceeding 6% will have to be paid in accordance with Section 56 of the CGST/SGST Act. However, In case where a provisional refund to the extent of 90% of the amount claimed is refundable in respect of zero-rated supplies made by certain categories of registered persons in terms of subsection 6 of Section 54 of the CGST/SGST Act, the provisional refund has to be given within 7 days from the date of acknowledgement of the claim of refund.
Can refund be withheld by the department?
Yes. The proper officer can withhold refund of accumulated IT under Section 54(3) in the following circumstances. 1. If the person has failed to furnish any return till he files such return. 2. If the registered taxable person is required to pay any tax, interest or penalty which has not been stayed by the appellate authority/tribunal/court, till he pays such tax, interest or penalty. The proper officer can also deduct unpaid taxes, interest, penalty, late fee, if any, from the refundable amount under Section 54(10)(d) of the CGST/SGST Act. The Section 54(11) provides as the Commissioner can withhold any refund, if the order of refund is under appeal and he is of the opinion that grant of such refund will adversely affect revenue in the said appeal on account of malfeasance or fraud committed.
Is there any specified format for filing refund claim?
Every claim of refund has to be filed in Form GSTRFD1. However, claim of refund of balance in electronic cash ledger can be claimed through furnishing of monthly/quarterly returns in Form GSTR3, GSTR4 or GSTR7, as the case may be, of the relevant period.
What happens if there are deficiencies in the refund claim?
Deficiencies, if any, in the refund claim has to be pointed out within 15 days. A Form GSTRFD03 will be issued by the proper officer to the applicant pointing out the deficiencies through the Common Portal electronically, requiring him to file a refund application after rectification of such deficiencies.
What is the time period within which an acknowledgement of the refund claim has to be given?
Where an application relates to a claim for refund from the electronic cash ledger as per subsection 6 of Section 49 of the CGST/SGST Act made through the return furnished for the relevant tax period, the acknowledgement will be communicated as soon as the return is furnished, and in all other cases of claim of refund the acknowledgement will be communicated to the applicant within 15 days from the date of receipt of application complete in all respect.
How will the applicant prove that the principle of unjust enrichment does not apply in his case?
Where the claim of refund is less than ₹2 lakh, a self-declaration by the applicant based on the documentary or other evidences available with him, certifying that the incidence of tax has not been passed on to any other person, would make him eligible to get refund. However, if the claim of refund is more than ₹2 lakh, the applicant is required to submit a certificate from a chartered accountant or a cost accountant to the effect that the incidence of tax has not been passed on to any other person.
What is the time period within which provisional refund has to be given?
Provisional refund to the extent of 90% of the amount claimed on account of zero-rated supplies in terms of subsection 6 of Section 54 of the CGST/SGST Act has to be given within 7 days from the date of acknowledgement of complete application for refund claim.
In respect of export of goods on payment of integrated tax, will the exporter need to file a separate refund claim?
No. The shipping bill filed by an exporter shall be deemed to be an application for refund of integrated tax paid on the goods exported out of India, and such application shall be deemed to have been filed only when the person in charge of the conveyance carrying the export goods duly files an export manifest or an export report covering the number and the date of shipping bills or bills of export, and applicant has furnished a valid return in Form GSTR3 or Form GSTR3B and GSTR1 or Table 6A of the said GSTR1.
Is it necessary to execute a bond for affecting zero-rated supplies?
No. The facility to export under letter of undertaking has been extended to all zero-rated suppliers, barring a few exceptions such as those who have been prosecuted for an offense involving tax of ₹2.5 crore via notification number 37/2017- Central Tax dated the 4th of October 2017. Circular number August 8, 2017 GST dated the 4th of October 2017 may also be referred to.
Is there any provision for filing manual refund claims under GST?
Yes. Circular number 17/2017 GST dated 15th November 2017 has been issued clarifying the procedure for filing of manual refund claims. The circular mandates that due to the non-availability of the refund module on the Common Portal, it has been decided by the competent authority, on the recommendations of the Council, that the application/documents/forms pertaining to refund claims on account of zero-rated supplies shall be filed and processed manually till further orders.